Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Sunday. All right, guys. Well, we're back to talk about JT Venita. JT's apologizing. Venita's giving more context to this relationship that they had because, mind you, she did come back on Watch What Happens Live and she described him as a lover in 3 words. And I was like, well, I didn't realize that we're out here making love. I mean, just a little taken aback. I do kind of feel like JT played both sides of this. I think that Ali and Venita both got hurt. I don't like the way that this played out, but I am going to talk about it. And he also did issue, again, apologies for abruptly leaving Southern Charm and so and so. But then he went on because Shep, and I'm going to play the clip thanks to our girls over at Taste of Reality. I'm going to play the clip, but he went on after Shep went on the after show and slammed Paige. JT had a comment. We're going to get into it. Smash the like button, guys. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And let's start here. I think so. So, thank you to our friends over at realityblurb.com. Now, regarding JT and Venita, obviously we know that they got pretty close on the show. And it seemed like if you didn't know what was going on, like for me, it was kind of ruined because I knew Ali. It seemed like that they might have had a chance at getting in a relationship. However, he abruptly left the series, and she said that she was blindsided by him emerging on Instagram and revealing that he was dating someone else. He did fact check this, though. Now, recently, Venita sat down with Us Weekly to discuss the show, the reunion, and everything else. And naturally, the topic of her former best friend came up during the conversation and discussing how the relationship dissolved. She said, I've never had someone do me so dirty. She also discussed the dating timeline because she felt the way the show was edited made her appear to be this homewrecker given the relationship that he later announced. But according to her, she said, we started dating when I got back from New York in September of 2024. It was from September, October, November. Wait a minute. September. What? We're in 2025. How much sense does that make? They had already filmed the show by this point. Okay. So she went on saying, trying to figure out, okay, are we doing this? Do we actually like each other? Is it because we're around each other all the time? But still, things ended up taking a turn because Venita said that in November of 2024, he posted that he had a girlfriend on Instagram. And she said, I think it would have been nice to just have him be like, hey, by the way, I'm dating someone else and I've decided to go with her versus you. I would not have cared. I'm like, oh my God, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for saying something, being kind about it. But he didn't do that. That's actually really shitty. Now, regarding Ali, Venita says they weren't a thing at the time, right? And they weren't. Um, if it's September, October, November. But she said, at least that I know of. And that's what he was telling me. And I was believing him and trusting that. And it's too messy. It's so messy. And I just wish that he could just come out and be like, hey, listen, I caused all of this. I made things messy. Don't be mad at either of these women. I should have done a better job at communicating with both of them with what was going on and what I was doing. And she feels that it would have been so simple for JT to correct the public perception and that he should have been the man that he wants all of the rest of the guys to be. Now, in terms of the relationship timeline, she did reveal that he quit the show a week after becoming Instagram official with Ali. And she also talked about him quitting the show, saying, I actually don't know why he quit. I can't put those two things together. It's not making sense. I'm like, okay, you're doing this. You're posting that you have this girlfriend, whatever. But why are you quitting the show? Is it because you were lying about things and that you were afraid to get caught in those lies? That's the only thing that made sense in my head. Benita also used the interview to reflect on what she felt she had with her co-star. And she said, I think that's the part that actually hurts me more. I'm mourning my best friend. We had so much fun together. We used to shoot the shit. We would go golfing and do dinners and walks in the morning and breakfast and working moments. And it was just like I lost all of that and it sucked. And following the time that they had together that came to an end, yeah, she said she feels like collateral damage. Right now, he's just trying to do anything to tear me down, and I don't like that. That's not a friend. Yeah, this is not good. Now, as of the terms where they stand today, she said, now the door is completely shut, closed, and barred, padlocked. No one's getting here. I was still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, Just communicate with me and talk me through it. I was willing to give him the chance to be like, this is what happened. I'm so sorry. Can we try this again? No, no, Venita, no. Know your worth. That is garbage. It's such hypocrisy. I think that JT is he's a very intelligent guy, right? He knows what he's doing. And just like Venita said, you sat there and held Craig's feet to the fire. You sat there and held Shep's feet to the fire. You sat there and held Austin's feet to the fire. You wanted to hold all of the guys' feet to the fire, except for Rodrigo. But you wanted to hold everybody's feet to the fire and be like, you need to man up. You have a great woman in front of you. Well, what happened to you? Did you just fall off the wagon? Because this is garbage, in my opinion. But now moving on. So on top of that, JT did apologize for his public resignation. If you guys remember, back in November, that he'd be leaving the show early, and he took to social media and hosted a Q&A for his fans. And he stated that his goal was to let people into his mind. He said, I don't really want to go to the Bahamas because, or he didn't want to go because I was already on the outs and I didn't really know what to do. And I felt like I was just sort of on the outs, and I flew down there and it was tough from the very first moment that I met with the friend group. Half of them won't even acknowledge me. That's okay. But like, that's a tough thing when you fly to a foreign country and half of your friends won't even say hi to you. And he said, so we sit down at dinner and I'm trying to keep it cool, calm, and collected, but inside my chest is just pounding. And yeah, awkward. But for context, he highlights the fact that the first dinner scene took an hour or two instead of just the couple of minutes that the viewers saw for him. It was a tense situation from the start, which only added to the stress. But JT wasn't fully alone on this trip because Shep did defend him on multiple occasions. And according to JT, he said, I didn't remember that Shep really kind of held his ground for me with the truth. And for context on that, Shep held firm that JT did not call Miss Patricia a derogatory name, which is what Craig Conover claimed. He said, I mean, these are his words. If Shep goes along with the flow, I don't know what to do. So I really want to say thank you to Shep. And I know it was a hard episode for him too. But from there, he decided to discuss his public and unprofessional resignation from the show. And he said, I want to apologize because I made a public resignation from a really special opportunity. And I let down a lot of people who worked really hard. And it was bad form to resign like that. And I will be at the reunion. And I just wanted to say that I'm sorry to my castmates. It might sound weird after an episode like that to apologize, but it's just not a good look. It's bad form. And that's not how I was raised. And that's not what the fans want. All right. Also in this live session, this Q&A, he spoke to the network after deciding to quit the show online. And he said, there are some pretty special people who sat me down and I listened to them and you get through it. And so I do finish and we did the reunion and I feel good about it. And I feel like that was the right thing to do. But now finally with this, a fan asked JT if he regrets doing the show. And he said, I have no regrets. I think that I learned so much from the show about TV and being on TV. Life is a gift. And even in failure or success, you learn. And I think that you learn more from tough times than you do from great times. And it was a tough episode. It was a tough season, but I learned a lot. I got stronger. I feel great now. And let's finish the season and take it one day at a time. Oh, he wants his job back is what it is. He's like, guys, I abruptly quit. I called that from the minute that he quit. I was like, this is going to be bad. You're going to want your job back. It's when I quit. And Bravo does not like that. Lisa Rinna quit. She resigned. She's like, I quit. And then she came back and she's like, actually, I don't quit. And production was like, no, who gives a shit? You already quit. We've already moved on without you. And then that's when it kind of hit home to her like, oh, even though she's killing it, she did quit. But this is the last thing I want to share. Thank you to our girls over at Taste of Reality, Ashley and Amani.
I think it's total bull that Paige didn't go on one single trip while they were dating with us.
Okay, you coming to the Bahamas?
So pretty much JT said, I can't blame Paige DeSorbo at all about the cast trip. Also, love seeing her and Hannah Berner continuing to grow and succeed in life. Now, Austin clearly did not like that because he came through and said, that is such a pick-me move to do. Well, I kind of look at it this way. JT started this with them, right? He did. He started in on them from the very moment that he got onto the show. because he liked one of the girls. She didn't reciprocate. And then he just felt like, why do you morons get the girls and like I get screwed over? Well, now you had your chance with a great girl and you screwed yourself over. So also, them, your second season, icing you out and doing certain things. I hate what Craig did to him. I hate that it seemed like a witch hunt, but you guys are all wrong in this situation. And I don't know what that looks like going into another season because I don't know if the cast would film with him. We don't know what the resolve is or if there was any resolve at the reunion. That's going to say everything. The reunion will let us know. It's like even going back to Monica Garcia from Salt Lake City. If she would have been, I think this is what people think. If she would have been like, like I messed up or whatever, even though I don't know, like just I'm using this as an example, a very loose example, then maybe the women wouldn't have had such a witch hunt towards her at the end. It's just the reunion is the place for resolution. So I don't know. Pop off in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.